Welcome into the final preseason edition of Clippers Countdown as the Clippers remain up in NorCal on the second leg of the Hella two-step after playing in Sacramento on Wednesday night, where it was another high-level performance by the second unit with their newest high flyer in John Collins.
10 on the shot clock. Paul stumbles, gets control on the baseline, bounces at Collins, up and under, right-handed reverse layup off the glass for two, and the Clippers lead by a dozen. Gets her on a screen from Lopez, lofts it baseline, look out below, John Collins, two-handed sledgehammer. Collins on the baseline, spins on Isaac Jones, elevates to the right hand, finishes, plus the foul. 13 points in 9 minutes. Preston swings ball into the far corner, Collins, his three is up. And down. The Clippers rip it around the horn. Tally three. Ball, no look pass. Collins down Broadway. Will throw it down with two hands. And a timeout, Sacramento.
John Collins led the Clippers with 24 points in just 18 minutes off the bench as the Clippers had 63 points combined from the bench unit and continued to show that they could be the deepest team in the league. Here was Coach Lou on what has made the second unit look this strong early on.
Like I said, Brook Lopez, we talked about after one of the games early on, and, he's just been great for us. When you have a five that can space the floor, a pick and pop five that can space the floor, it puts your defense in a tough bind, and so he allows, the ball movement because teams got to rotate or they got to switch, and then we post them up. They got to double team, and CP and KD and those guys done a great job of just, finding him, and he's getting open shots. And then John Collins, like I said, just offensively, just, being able to post him, against smaller guys, running pick and roll, getting behind the defense. And so they got a really good chemistry right now. And so, like I said, they do look good.
Yes, they do. But can the Clippers finish the preseason with a winning record and bring a little momentum with them into Game 1 in Utah on October 22nd? Tip-off from Chase Center tonight between the Clippers and Golden State Warriors, and the final dress rehearsal here in the preseason is just about 58 minutes away. Coming up here on Clippers Countdown, we'll have La Murray on, but up next, it's your radio voice of the Clippers and Carlo Jimenez. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers still in NorCal, taking on the Golden State Warriors in their final preseason game before things get real. October 22nd, next Wednesday in Utah for Game 1 of the start of the regular season. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Osland. This is Clippers Countdown. Coming up, We'll have Lob Murray on the show. Plus, we'll go back in time in Clippers Rewind. But first, let's get out to Chase Center and get your radio voice of the Clippers and Carlo Jimenez. Carlo, how we doing? How we feeling?
Adam, I'm feeling so good because we got one more dress rehearsal, and then we're going to do the real thing. I'm excited. I know it's still a couple of games before I get to see your beautiful face in person at Intuit Dome, but I cannot wait for the season to get going. And look, after watching the last Clippers game, there's a lot to be excited about.
Let's talk about the second unit because it looks like they have some instant chemistry out there. Some vets have come together and put together some special performances, at least so far in the preseason. All systems go for this Clippers backup unit.
It's an unbelievable unit up and down the roster. Just talking to people around the league, they mentioned that I know all these guys' names, and they're coming off the bench. Usually the casual NBA fan knows about the starters in the league, but you know every Clipper bench player, no matter who they are. You're talking about a starting unit that is Chris Paul, or a second unit that's Chris Paul, probably going to see a lot of Chris Dunn, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Brooke Lopez, and John Collins. If he's coming off the bench like he has been in the playoff or in the preseason, that's ridiculous. I mean, that is an incredible five. That would start on probably 10 other teams. And you're right, Adam. They just have that chemistry. Chris Paul, 9 assists in 9 minutes last time out for the Clippers. He was excellent to start that game. And Brooke Lopez has been unreal. Maybe the MVP of the preseason so far.
Let's talk about John Collins before we get back to Brolo, because he did lead the Clippers last time out in their big victory against the Kings, 109-91 on Wednesday night. JC off the bench, 18 minutes, 24 points on 7 of 8 shooting, 2 of 2 from the outside, 8 of 10 from the charity stripe, plus 6 boards. He was dominant. They were finding him. He was rim running and showing that he's also a stretch big for this Clippers team, similar to Brolo.
Yeah, the shot selection, Adam, was out of a analytics dream, the way he was able to take advantage of the opportunities he had. He only took shots, or only made shots in the corners, the easiest three-point shot, or in the restricted area within 5 feet of the rim. That is what you want out of John Collins. Take the easy shots, make the easy shots. He was able to do that for the Clippers. And the biggest thing, like you mentioned, didn't have the ball a lot in his hands, but was still really effective. 24 points in those 18 minutes. He has talked about how this team has held him to a high standard, which is what they need. And he mentioned the veterans like Chris Paul, like somebody like Ty Lue, coming to him and saying, look, we need you to be that elite player you were in Utah, but we also don't need you to do as much on the offensive end. A lot will be put on a platter. It's just about you finishing, and he did a lot of finishing in the last game.
A nice pick and roll with CP3 late in that ball game before the backups came in. But Brooke Lopez, as I mentioned, another 3-point shootout for him, 4 or 5 from distance, 16 points. Also had 2 Tim Duncan-esque mid-range shots off the backboard from both sides of the floor. Just Brooke Lopez, maybe their MVP of the preseason. He's been unbelievable.
40 points, Adam, on 64% from the field. Ooh. 53% from the three-point line, and his plus-minus is above 50 in the preseason.
That's impossible. They must have played a team from China or something.
No, he was plus 26 against Sacramento. That's what helps.
Yeah.
Unreal stuff for Brooke Lopez. You're right. It also does help that they did not play an NBA team in one of those games. But the ability for him to just be the perfect plug player for this Clipper team, just do whatever they need. I'm sure there was a lot of stress relief for Brooke Lopez, knowing he has to come off the bench and really play a role that he's played as a starter, but doesn't have the pressure of maybe being a starter, being somebody who has to carry the load. I mean, he played a lot of minutes last year in Milwaukee, 32 a game. He's not going to be playing 32 a game here with the Clippers. So when he's in there, he's going to be more rested. He's going to be more focused because he doesn't have the fatigue of the rest of the game. And he's going to be as productive as he was throughout the preseason. Brooke Lopez just looks like the Clippers are going to have a ton of fun with him on the offensive end. And I don't think anyone's more excited about it than Ty Lue. Because Ty Lue, every time he mentioned Brooke Lopez, he has a smile on his face and he is scheming up something.
No disrespect to the Long Lions. May they live long and prosper, yes, of course. We want Victor Oladipo back in the league, but it was a little bit of a mismatch in San Diego between them and the Clippers in their first preseason game. Their final one is tonight up in NorCal. They take on the Golden State Warriors from Chase Center. Carlo Jimenez is on the call. Coming up, more from your radio voice of the Clippers. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers and Warriors from Chase Center up north in San Francisco. Final preseason game for your LA Clippers. Welcome back in. It's Clippers Countdown. I'm Adam Moslin. We're just about 48 minutes away from tip-off. Still to come, Law Murray of The Athletic will be here. Plus, we'll go back in time in Clippers Rewind. Back over to your radio voice of the Clippers and Carlo Jimenez. You heard all over the starting five on Netflix that just dropped a couple of days ago. All over it. Let's go.
Adam, you're in there twice, by the way.
Just twice? Come on now. Netflix,
No.
what did I ever do? I can't see you like one time.
You're in there. You're in there at the beginning. And then if you go to the end of episode 6, you're also in there.
People are telling me episode 4 as well. They think they hear me. I think they're just hearing things. 4. Like, I get it. You hear voices once in a while. I hear my own self once in a while in my head. But
I hear you before I go to bed.
Easy now. Well, that's just Clippers talk after dark.
That's what I meant.
Carlo, let's talk about a guy who's been all over the place. I feel like in the starting lineup, and even though the Clippers got off to a really slow start in that first stint with the starters against Sacramento on Wednesday, I don't feel like DJ did. Derek Jones Jr. finished with 12 points, and he's looked really aggressive out there with the basketball, slashing to the hoop. So it's not just, hey, if the threes are working, great, but if not, you can't play through him at all offensively. There is some stuff he can still do to help out this team with a stacked starting unit.
He is somebody who consistently mentions, I do not care if I start. I don't care if I come off the bench. All I care about is if we win. And he said it multiple times last season. He said it multiple times this season. He says, when we don't win, I don't sleep. And you know what? He's got 4 young kids at home. So he's probably not sleeping anyway. So if he really doesn't sleep when they're not winning, that sounds like a nightmare scenario for Derek Jones Jr. But you're right, 12 points in back-to-back games. I thought the fly routes were a really interesting addition. You see it with Christian Brown and Nikola Jokic a lot last season. I think the Clippers can have that in their arsenal with the way Derek Jones Jr. is able to get ahead of the floor. And James Harden is not shy about throwing that pass. Now, I don't know if Ty Lue loves him throwing that pass, but he's not shy about throwing that pass, and it's often led to buckets for the Clippers. Derek Jones Jr., just the ultimate team player, the head of the snake on the defensive end, and then doing his job defensively. Coming off a career year at him, maybe average career highs in points, shot a career high from the field. I would expect more from Derek Jones Jr. this season.
Yeah, and that three-point percentage the last 3 seasons has slowly but surely gone a little bit up for him. If he makes a little bit more progress, maybe he's at 37% from the outside this year, above league average. But you mentioned it, him getting above the defense on those hit-ahead passes. That was a big point of emphasis going into the year last season. They accomplished it. They were better in transition points, but that 70-foot pass from James Harden to him up in Sacramento at Golden One Center that turned into a 70-foot scoop layup alley-oop from DJ all in one motion. That was incredible. I think it made SportsCenter's top 10. This Clippers team, though, it's not just the starters. We talked about the second unit, and there's some young guys. Like last time out, Jordan Miller was with the starters. I thought he had a nice third quarter for Miller. That three-pointer he hit, and then the putback dunk off the miss from Kawhi.
He was excellent, being able to be a part of that group and really be present in the moment, as he talked about post-game, helping them out on the offensive end. I would expect him to play a lot of minutes. This is a really interesting game, Adam, tonight for the Clippers, because Jordan Miller is the only guy on a two-way contract. And it has been reported that the Clippers are looking to promote from within when it comes to those other two-way contracts. So you look at the roster, and I'm looking at Patrick Baldwin Jr., Jason Preston, Kobe Sanders, Jameel Telfort, Ty Washington.
So Kobe Sanders is not on a two-way right now, correct?
From my understanding, he is not.
Okay.
I believe it is just Jordan who is on a two-way. I'll check with Law Murray, or you're going to have him on later. Maybe that's a conversation.
Those things get flexed all over the place, so you never know. But we know Trenton Flowers just got picked up a little bit earlier today by Chicago, so he's on the move already. Yeah,
Trenton Flowers on the move. Good for Trenton. Glad he was able to find a landing spot and be able to show what he can do in Chicago. I think for this Clipper team, there's a lot of opportunity for the young guys. And this is an older group, and it's something the Warriors have talked about. When you have an older group, you're going to need a young person to win you some games. You're going to need your youth to be able to eke out some wins, because guys can't play 35 minutes a night in this league. When you think about the age of this Clipper team, or as Lawrence Frank likes to put it, how seasoned they are.
That's right.
So for the Clippers, the young guys need to win games, and we'll see who those young guys will be who will step up.
One of the seasoned vets makes his debut on the court for the Clippers tonight in Bradley Beal. 32 years young. This is somebody that the last couple of years, I think the numbers have been a little bit overlooked just because Phoenix's lack of success and there was some inner turmoil there. But people that are putting all that on Bradley Beal, I think, are sorely mistaken. This is a guy who can still get 50, 40, 90 out there with his shooting splits. He's that talented, and he's one of many stars on this Clippers team that have had that number one role before where they put a lot on their shoulders. You won't have to do as much with the Clippers, but this seems like a really good comp for the loss of Norman Powell this past offseason.
Agree. I mean, somebody who averaged 30 multiple times in his career, a three-time All-Star. He's been excellent throughout, and an opportunity for him to just get his legs underneath him. He's talked about how Jeff Van Gundy has constantly wanted him to be a better on the defensive side and push. And so what the biggest thing for me, Adam, with Brad Beal is, can he be able to be that great offensive threat and be as good, if not better, a pest on the defensive side? Ty Lue joked about how when he guards the best players, he's a great defender. And then sometimes, as Ty put it, when he guards guys like me when I played, he doesn't play as hard on the defensive end, which I thought was funny. So for somebody like Brad Beal, and a big part of him coming here was also working with Jesse, one of the trainers for the Clippers who worked with him in Washington. He felt like he really knew his body well, able to get his knees correct. But Brad Beal he's looking to sign a big contract after this season. And if he can show he's that two-way threat, he can thrive in this Clipper system. Adam, I also have to correct myself. Sanders is on a two-way.
Okay,
so
I wasn't sure.
One two-way available. Thanks for, we want to make sure we're journalists first year, so we want to make sure we get the right information.
That's right. We double sourced it between the two of us.
Yeah, 100%. So Kobe Sanders. I yelled when Adam was talking to Kobe from the booth. I was like, hey, are you on a two-way? He gave me the thumbs up. So it was all good.
We got some great communication with this team, whether you're an old vet or a young guy on a two-way contract, and we're expecting to get some big minutes tonight in this one. Clippers up north at Chase Center, taking on the Golden State Warriors in their final preseason game before things get real. Next Wednesday, October 22nd, they will be opening up the regular season in Utah. Carlo Jimenez is on the call. He'll be back in just a little bit as we're just 40 minutes away from tip-off. Coming up next, we're going back in time in Clippers Rewind right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers and Warriors from Chase Center. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Oslin. It's Clippers Countdown, the official pregame show of your LA Clippers. Remember, when the Dodgers are on AM 570 LA Sports, we will be on the Patriot AM 1150. And of course, you can find the pre and post game show at Clippers Talk on YouTube. Still to come, your player to watch, and La Murray will be here. But first, we're going back in time in Clippers Rewind back to January 10th of 2018 in theaters. It was the movie Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and Star Wars The Last Jedi. Did I see that one? Is that the second one, or is that the last one, the ninth? Is that eighth? That's the Ryan Johnson one, who did some good stuff like Brick, but that was not my favorite from him. I didn't even see the ninth episode 9. Who cares after that? And Perfect by Ed Sheeran, which is the opposite of that Star Wars movie. That was number 1 on the Billboard charts. But Sweet Lou Williams, Perfect, almost. He was going for a career high against the Golden State Warriors.
No Griffin, no Rivers, no Teodosic, no Gallinari, no Beverly, and now no C.J. Williams. Is it no problem? We'll see. Lou Williams on the move to the foul circle, rises for the jumper, and it's good again. And the Clippers have taken the lead, 83-81. Rebound taken by Lou. Here come the Clippers leading by 2. Williams, the cash cow, gets it inside to DJ. Back to Lou, down the lane. The float on the right hand is good. And the Clippers now lead 85-81. Kevin Durant frustrated as he inbounds. Clippers on a 13-0 run in the last 2.5 minutes. Williams across half court, moves to his right, gets a screen again from DeAndre, rises for the 3. Yes, sir! 88-83. The Clippers with their largest lead, and sweet string music for Lou Williams, 31. Lou Williams changing hands on the dribble like a grandfather clock. Tick-tock, tick-tock. 7 to shoot. They're going to have to go to work. 7 to shoot. He's at distance. He's picked up by Caspi. Goes between the legs. Fires a deep 3. Oh, he put it in! 96-90. Oh, my, he could throw a key into a lock. Green on the wing at the horn. No! 26 third quarter points for Lou Williams. The Clippers trailed by 9 in the frame. They lead by 6 heading into the fourth quarter. Lou at the foul line. The floater ahead of the horn is in the air. It is good. Oh, my goodness. It is official. He is a supernova, bending space and time. 113-97. 42 for Lou. Lou Williams across half court, moves to his left. He's on the wing, fires a 3. The dagger, it is there. Oh, a career high for Lou Williams. 47, and the Clippers lead by 20. 122-102, and the sound of silence has never been more enjoyable. Lou Williams with 47 points, 36 in the second half. He'll fire the deep 3. It's in the air, and it's gone. 50 for Lou Williams. And that, my friends, is the candles on the cake. Wow, 125-106.
Sweet Lou Williams with a 50 ball. Great call by Brian Seaman. Sweet Lou was 16 of 27 and 8 of 16 from 3 up at Oracle Arena as the Clippers would win 125-106 over a KD Warriors team. That was back in January of 2018. I'm Adam Oslin. Coming up next here on Clippers Countdown, we'll get to your player to watch and then La Murray of The Athletic. I'm Adam Oslin, and you are listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Have I mentioned I'm Adam Oslin? Clippers and Warriors from Chase Center up in San Francisco. Final preseason game for your LA Clippers. I'm Adam Oslin. This is Clippers Countdown. We're just about 32 minutes away from tip-off. Coming up, your injury report, and then La Murray of The Athletic. But first,
this is LA Clippers basketball.
Watching this guy play right now is really something.
Players to watch.
we get to see Bradley Beal tonight in a Clippers uniform. First time out there on the court. And the reports of his demise have been greatly exaggerated. He averaged 17.5 points as a third option efficiently the last 2 seasons for the Phoenix Suns. We're talking 50% from the field, 40% from the outside when you combine both years. He is a bucket still. He's only, let's see here, 4 years removed from averaging 31 in the league and being an all-star as a number 1 option with the Washington Wizards. Yeah, I wouldn't give up on Bradley Beal. There's a reason why so many teams were trying to get his services. He eventually chose the Clippers. We're happy about that. Bradley Beal is going to fill the role of Norman Powell and then some in different areas. He's a better playmaker. He has more on-ball juice where he can create for himself and for others. Love Norman Powell. He's going to do great things for the Miami Heat. He'll have a spectacular tribute video when he returns to Intuit Dome. But getting Bradley Beal basically for Norm and John Collins, because that was the original Norm trade, and then they picked up Bradley Beal, just makes all the sense in the world. Front office cooked all summer long. Let's see if Bradley Beal can cook on the court tonight. Up at Chase Center, Clippers taking on the Golden State Warriors. We're 30 minutes away from tip-off. Up next, we got your injury report, and then La Murray of The Athletic. You're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers and Warriors from Chase Center. Tip-off 28 minutes away. It's Clippers Countdown. Coming up, we got La Murray of The Athletic. But first, let's get to your injury report for the Clippers out tonight. Not because of injury, but because of rest and holding guys out who it's getting too close to the start of the regular season. You can't see these guys get hurt in Game 4 of the preseason. James Harden's out. No Kawhi Leonard. Chris Paul, Nico Batum, Brook Lopez also being held out tonight. Your starting lineup, Chris Dunn, Bradley Beal, Derek Jones Jr., Kobe Brown, and Ivica Zubac. Coming up next, the man who tweeted that out just a minute ago, La Murray of The Athletic will be here. I'm Adam Osland, and you are listening to Clippers Countdown right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Osland, and this is Clippers Countdown as we get set for the Clippers in their final preseason game. Before we get set for the regular season on Wednesday, October 22nd, it's the Clippers taking on the Golden State Warriors up in Northern California from Chase Center. Coming up, we'll get back to Carlo Jimenez and, of course, your drive around the league as well. But first, join the show. The man who wrote up a great piece for The Athletic titled John Collins Opens Up About Joining the Clippers, Learning from the Hawks and Jazz. It is Law Murray. At Law Murray, DNU is where you find him. Law, thanks for doing this once again. Law, you got me? Law, how about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you right now.
Appreciate you, Law. Let's talk about your article with John Collins and the performance he had on Wednesday. Is this the vision here? If he's playing with the backups, he's got a lot more space to do a lot more work out there because of Brook Lopez.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I thought of when he was traded here, because that transaction was completed after Brook Lopez had agreed to terms with the Clippers. I just was like, look, the starting lineup can be the starting lineup. Like we saw that there was another shoe that needed to drop as far as Bradley Beal. But when you look at John Collins, he's a guy who is always going to be good inside. And outside has been, sometimes he's been really good. Sometimes it has been a bit of a struggle. Even when he's shooting it well, you don't want to maroon him to the outside and just be like, oh yeah, like John Collins is a shooter, so make him a shooter. Like that's not what kind of player he is. And I think when he played with Brook Lopez, a player who also is an inside-outside guy, and as he's aged, he is more comfortable lining up and shooting far outside the basket. And Brook Lopez doesn't just step to the three-point line and shoot. As you have seen, Brook Lopez is shooting that thing several feet beyond the line, and that's a spacing thing. Like, it allows your interior options to have so much more room to exploit a defense. And especially if these second units tend to be smaller across the NBA. Just look at the Clippers over the years, right? And so if the Clippers are going to big ball these guys, I mean, you saw it in Sacramento Wednesday night. John Collins is going to have mismatches, and he's going to eat, especially if he has an elite diet, getting him the basketball and organizing the half-court sets of Chris Paul. Like, that second unit, if that's what it winds up being, it's a powerful unit that not a lot of teams are going to have answers for.
Yeah, this Clippers team showing off their depth, the 66 points off the bench against the Sacramento Kings, and just the synergy they've had out there has been kind of remarkable. I know it's just preseason, but a lot of these vets coming together quickly. Did you expect to see it the way it's manifested so far here?
I really needed to see it against the Kings. I mean, it's one thing to do it against a team that is not an NBA team, but to do it against a team that is in your division and to do it in their building and to do it immediately. I mean, those dudes were the starters didn't play very well to begin the game Wednesday night. And then they got hockey subbed out of there for Paul, Dunn, Batum, Collins, Lopez, and they immediately made it so that the Clippers were up double digits for the rest of the night. I mean, it was an impressive showing, and it's a lot of vets. I think the thing that not just Tyronn Lue, but members of the front office have expressed on and you know, behind the mic and behind the curtain, if you will, like the Clippers have been hooping this training camp. They're not spending a lot of time teaching this and running through this drill and installing. It's like they've been playing a lot of basketball. They've got 11 veterans, and then you've got some young players who are very mature in their own right and getting themselves ready to push this team. And that has been big for the Clippers. Like, their basketball readiness is at a high level, especially offensively. I'm used to so many Clippers seasons where they come out and their offense is dog crap. Like, that has not been the case. And especially with the second unit. And I just got to chalk it up to just how many quality players are on this team and how many mature players are on this team.
Tell me if you're seeing the same thing from Derek Jones Jr. here in the preseason, where he's just looked a little bit more aggressive with slashing and attacking the basket. Maybe that's going to be asked of him as likely a starter, as you asked him once again, if he's going to be in the starting lineup post game, as you were up there in Sacktown, and he said, I assume so. Is that accurate, Law?
Yeah, I mean, the thing I asked them is like, if you're gonna be a guy who's in that first unit, what we typically see, and maybe we don't see it as much if Bradley Beal is going to be in there, but he's been starting these games, and in the first unit, Jordan Miller has been there, John Collins against the Nuggets. That means Derek Jones Jr. has an opportunity for his game. It reminds me of Robert Covington. I remember Rocco a few years back. He kind of snapped on Twitter a little bit when he was being asked about, like, hey, I'm seeing him handle the basketball more. It's like Rocco's like, I've always had that in him, and you just haven't seen it. Well, there's one thing about always feeling like you can do it like in an open run, but to do it in live action against other NBA teams is something different. I think the great thing for Derek Jones Jr. has been the effectiveness with it. He's been able to get the ball over the half-court line. He hasn't turned it over. He's been in position to slash. He's put the ball in the basket. He's done a really nice job of integrating himself with guys that I feel like it's clear that he's going to start the season with.
La Maria is our guest as we get set for the Clippers taking on the Golden State Warriors up at Chase Center in preseason game number 4, final preseason game for your LA Clippers. So the story here, Bradley Beal, first time on the court in a Clippers uniform. La, what type of minutes restriction are we looking at? What are you looking to see from Bradley Beal with his first minutes out there?
Well, I can't speak on a minute restriction, but I would imagine that they're going to not treat Bradley Beal like he's playing in the NBA Finals. So it is a preseason game with a bunch of guys not playing. I already knew Kawhi and James Harden wouldn't be available, but now you have you have a group out there where Brad's going to have the ball in his hands. I mean, Chris Dunn is the point guard tonight. Kobe Brown is getting a chance to start, but you got Zoo and Derek Jones Jr. Typically, this is a lineup where Bradley Beal would have the ball and run some pick and rolls and make some decisions and do it in a time where the Clippers are going to be careful with him. He hasn't had live action since at least April. So it's a good thing that he's playing now. Like, the season opener is Wednesday night in Salt Lake City. The fact that you're confident enough in Bradley Beal's onboarding to have him play in this setting, that's an amazing sign. Bogdan Bogdanovic, he is also available to my understanding. It's a great sign that the Clippers are already bubble wrapping 5 rotation guys, getting 2 guys who haven't played that much out there, and then still having enough guys out there to make this game not a complete punt of a preseason game up in Chase Center.
Tell me about the final two-way spot and the guys that are competing for it, because that seems like a pretty big storyline as well tonight.
Yeah, well, Jordan Miller is a guy I'm treating like a 15th roster guy. Obviously, the Clippers are doing a apron dance, so they're not going to fill that open spot. They're going to have 14 standard contracts, but Jordan Miller was a guy that got promoted last year. They value him. The only reason he's not on a standard contract is because they wanted to have the flexibility to put the roster together that they have. And Jordan Miller bought into that, and he's on this team. So he's going to be a critical part of this team. And then Kobe Sanders is a guy that, even though it was only one spot in the 50s, the Clippers traded up and got that guy. And he's a rookie. He's an intriguing guy. He has the size and the skill of someone that you want to see if he develops into a usable player in 2-3 years. Trenton Flowers was a player who was always going to have to compete for that other two-way contract spot. And the competition was so close that they wanted to do Trenton Flowers a favor and get him off of that two-way and open it up. And if he didn't get picked up by somebody else, then maybe he brings his back on it into the 10. Maybe he's with the G League squad. The Chicago Bulls wound up snapping him up. So congratulations to Trenton Flowers on that. And the Clippers took a risk, and they were comfortable with that risk because they felt like the competition was close enough where they were like, we don't know if Trenton Flowers would win this competition. So Jason Preston is a guy who I'm really got an eye on because he has gotten to play in all of these preseason games unlike anybody else. Patrick Baldwin Jr. is a guy who ended last season on a two-way contract with the Clippers, played Summer League with the Clippers. Obviously, they let him go so that they could bring Kobe Sanders and Jordan Miller on their two-way contracts. but Patrick has a chance. But I would say Jason is the head there. They have a need at another point guard spot, someone who can just be there in case Chris or James Harden can't play. Just another guy. Jason's got NBA experience. The Clippers thought enough of him to draft him in the second round way back in 2021. He took a year off, but he's about this. So they praise him, praise his role in getting guys like Giannis and Niederhauser up to speed. And I just feel like there's a utility there that you don't get from the other guys. Now, Jamil Telford is someone that Tyronn Lue, he's liked all summer. And so it'll be interesting to see how much of an opportunity he gets here. And then there's another guy, Ty Washington, who didn't start with the Clippers, but I was told if Ty was going to be one of those guys like Zach Freemantle, for example, where it's like, we're just going to sign you, let you go, just get your G League rights, then they would have done that. But they wanted Ty to be on this trip to Northern California. He's a former first-round pick, just like Patrick Baldwin Jr. And, they got to see him all summer. In August, he's with the rest of those young guys going up and playing in these games. So it's whoever earns that spot really earned the spot. They cut a guy who was worth a look in Trenton Flowers to keep this spot open. And I'm interested to see what the decision will be over the weekend.
La Murray is more than earned this spot in our media roundtable segment. I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. He is the best information on the Clippers out there in the world. And he does it for The Athletic at La Murray, the NU. La, appreciate you. See you at Intuit Dome next Friday. Yeah, the 24th. La, be good, my friend.
All right. Thanks for having me, man.
Coming up next, and you better be reading Law stuff on The Athletic, we'll get to an NBA out-of-town scoreboard. I'm Adam Osland, as we are just about 13 minutes away from tip-off Clippers and Golden State Warriors, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers taking on the Golden State Warriors from Chase Center. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Osland. Coming up back to Carlo Jimenez. But first, let's get to your drive around the league. Brought to you by Toyota. Work hard and play hard in a new Tacoma. With an iForce turbocharged engine, it's a truck built for the bold. See your Toyota dealer today. We make it easy. Earlier in Philly, man, it was the 76ers winning 126-110 over the Timberwolves, and it was the return of Joel Embiid. He was out there on the court, played 19 minutes, looked pretty good. 14 and 8, 5 of 10 shooting, 2 of 4 from the outside. VJ Edgecombe, the rookie, had 26. Tyrese Maxey had 27 in their victory there. 76ers, one of those teams, if they can stay healthy. The Toronto Raptors hosting the Brooklyn Nets would win 119-114. Scotty Too Hottie Barnes had 31, 6, and 3 steals. I hope he becomes an all-star this season in the Eastern Conference. I know that would make his coach very happy. Clippers up in Golden State, taking on the Warriors from San Francisco. And up next, back to your radio voice of the Clippers and Carlo Jimenez. I'm Adam Moslin, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers up at Chase Center taking on the Golden State Warriors. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Moslin. Tip-off is just about 8 minutes away. Coming up, your keys to victory. But first, back up to Chase Center with Carlo Jimenez, your radio voice of the Clippers. Carlo, tell me about the Golden State Warriors and who's actually playing tonight for them. I know Jimmy Butler's out.
Jimmy Butler's out, but the rest are good to go. Steph, Draymond, Al Horford, they are all starting. So it should be interesting. Podziemski getting the nod, too, along with their rookie out of Florida, national champion Will Richard. This is a team that I don't know how much they're going to play their big names, but they are going to play. Now, they play Tuesday at the Lakers to get things going. So the Clippers and most of the NBA starts on Wednesday, but, of course, the Warriors will start on Tuesday along with OKC and Houston. So maybe that time frame makes it a lot shorter. Steve Kerr did say after their last game he thinks Steph Curry looks really, really good. Doesn't feel like he's in a bad spot at all conditioning-wise. I bet they play maybe a quarter, at most 2. We will not see those guys in the second half.
So this Clippers ball club, yes, they're missing some guys. Ivica Zubac's still playing in this one. Interesting to me. No Brook Lopez. He's slightly older, but kind of expecting Zoo to get a little bit more active out there. He looked a little bit on the sluggish side as well as some of the other starters up in Sacramento early on, and then finally started to get it going. But interested to see how much more he's a focal point of the offense tonight.
I'd expect them to get him and Brad Beal a lot of touches to begin this ball game. You just think those are 2 guys you're going to want to have feeling good going into your first playoff game or first regular season game as we get going here in the preseason. Sorry, last time we were in this building, we were talking about playoffs the whole time.
That's
so
right.
Still, I'm having flashbacks up here.
Game 82, that was a classic.
A classic indeed. In fact, Adam, the Clippers will end the season against the Golden State Warriors this year as well. So you started preseason a season ago and ended the regular season against them. Now you're ending preseason and ending the regular season against the Warriors.
Okay.
It really is a wild time.
Full circle moment. We will be back here at the very end of the season. Last one for you here, Carlo, before we get to our keys to victory. But how excited are you for some of the young guys tonight to get a chance to shine for this Clippers team, as there is a two-way spot up for grabs?
There's a two-way spot up for grabs, and I think for a lot of those guys, they're feeling like this is a playoff-type environment for them. Think about somebody like Jameel Telfort, Ty Washington, Jason Preston, Patrick Baldwin Jr., all players eligible for that two-way contract, and the Clippers have one up for grabs after they released Trenton Flowers, who got picked up by the Chicago Bulls earlier today. So for the Clippers and the young guys, who's going to show out and what do they look for? We asked Ty Lue this last season, but he mentioned when it comes to young players, you want someone who's going to play hard on the defensive end, who's going to be coachable, and who's going to work extremely hard. Well, the working hard part is probably already out there. The Clippers know who's in their facility the most, who's going to put in the most effort on the defensive end, who's going to attack on the offensive end but still play within the system. Obviously, a lot of pressure in this game. The front office, I'm sure, knows how they feel about all these guys as they scrimmage all the time. But this is an opportunity to go against somebody you don't know in the Golden State Warriors. And, Adam, this is a really good young team that the Warriors have. Will Richard, who is starting today, is one of their rookies. In terms of the youth being really, really strong, Pat Spencer will see a lot. He's a third-year guy. LJ Cryer was the leading scorer in the national championship for college basketball this last season. He's going to play for Golden State. Gary Payton II will probably play a lot. Quentin Post, who led all rookies in three-point percentage, will probably play a lot. So they have some sizable opponents on the other side. It'll be a great test for the Clippers, and how they perform will be really exciting.
Carlo Jimenez on the call. Tip-off just 5 minutes away. Clippers up at Chase Center taking on the Golden State Warriors. And up next, we'll get to your keys to victory. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers and Warriors up north. Let's get your keys to victory. Take care of the basketball. It's not easy when you have, a lot of different guys thrown together in game 4 of the preseason that aren't very familiar playing next to one another. And everybody stay healthy. All right, here we go. It's Carlo Jimenez from Chase Center. Clippers and Golden State Warriors, and tip-off is coming up next right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.